I was talking to Derek before we started today, the Outdoor Industry Association, which we've tried to get involved with through their foundation. I mean, these are the skiers, the hikers, the backpackers, the Outside Magazine, and all that stuff. Well, they're having their outdoor month in April. Why? It's just going to confuse everything again. It is mind-boggling to me how, and I've been to their meetings, and I can tell you the same things I'm hearing here about the need to get youth involved in the outdoors, and all the things that were said in the barriers, and the Children in Nature Network, and the Natural Leaders Group. I've met these people, okay? We're all talking the same thing, but yet they feel strongly that their thing is the best thing, so they're going to do it in April, and we feel that June is a better month to do that. We got to get our heads out of the sand, okay? We got to figure out how to do it. And Derek, I will volunteer right now to be your liaison with that group and try the best I can to help you get them to work. They are kind of set in their ways, as we discussed, but I'll take that challenge. I don't know if I'll be successful, but I think it's absolutely crazy. You know, by the way, they don't promote fishing and boating either, which kind of sticks a thorn in my side. And I'm going to get them to do that. Okay. So, I don't know if I have any solutions to tell you, but I do think when you attack a problem, when I came to RBFF a few years back, I said, what's success going to look like in a couple of years? And we had all these great products and programs and services. But how do you make that happen? So it starts with that vision, and I'll leave that there. I was going to make another comment about New Jersey, but I'll.
Good morning.
Good morning.
A little bit taller than me. So I completely agree with not only the opening remarks from Ruth and Frank here this morning, but all the information I've gathered since I arrived yesterday. I'm really pleased to be here. I know many of you know my colleague Patrick Fitzgerald, and I'm standing in for Patrick today, so thanks for indulging me. Patrick and his wife just had their first baby, so there's a really good reason not to be here, but he sends his regards to everyone. And you might notice too, I have a little bit of a different lens into the work that we're doing all together collectively. I'm more on the relationship building, fundraising, marketing side. So I'm really glad that we're all sort of getting used to the term marketing and using that as a vehicle to create opportunities for people to plug into our overall goals. So I'll talk a little bit about that. To the point made earlier, I present to you guys today Great American Backyard Campout not as the only solution in the space of how do we get kids outside, but maybe it is part of an organized effort. It seems to me exactly the same point that Frank was just making is, why do we continue in this area to create more opportunities for people to get kids involved in the outdoors? Let's maybe work together, build those strong partnerships we're talking about to try and do that. So I'm going to be really brief, but again, being a marketing person, Derek and I talked a little bit about this. I thought it was good to set up a little bit about NWF to give you the background for a second. We're celebrating 75 years this year. We're not going to go through every year, I promise you, of our history. But I did want to just tell you sort of what we do and why we're here. And Ruth and I actually had a conversation on the boat yesterday, and really, we have some branding issues, so we are here to inspire Americans to protect wildlife for our children's future. Very common, I think, to all the work that you all are doing. And I'm really going to talk about connecting people with nature today. We have two other goals. Wildlife is our middle name, so we're very interested in that, as well as climate change. We talked a little bit about this, my colleagues in Prince William County, we're headquartered in Virginia as well, about the problem with the indoor child, Richard Louv's book, all of these things. This is not news to any of us in this room. I'm not going to go through this, but I think it provides the best backdrop of the work that we're doing in National Wildlife Federation, how we got to this point. Sometimes when we talk about being an environmental educational organization, people think, well, why would you guys be interested in getting kids outside? What's the connection? So I'm going to lead you down that path. In our minds, at National Wildlife Federation, it takes a backyard, a playground, a park, a public space, a forest, to get kids to be more well-rounded, to get them outside. So if they're spending 7 minutes a day in unstructured play, Houston, we have a problem. So for us, it's not more testing, it's not more organized sports, it's getting outside and appreciating the beauty of nature, or just simply being outdoors like we all did, mainly as kids. So we launched a program called Be Out There about 2 years ago. And we are focused, I really appreciate the comment made earlier about pinking it up. So we're focusing on moms. So Susan, that's right on. No offense to the dads in the audience, but we know when it comes to schedules and time for kids, mom is the gatekeeper. So we're really trying to reach out to mom. It's a marketing campaign with educational underpinnings to get to that audience that we're trying to really enhance the message of the importance of getting their kids outside. So Great American Backyard Campout is a centerpiece, or the sort of the backbone of our program. We're really trying to support this Be Out There initiative, connecting kids with nature through their moms and their families. We're really looking to create a starting point for activity, right? So again, it can be as simple as going out in your backyard, right? Where can we meet people? Susan pointed earlier as well. We have to meet people where they are. If we make it too complicated, people tune out. You guys, we're all there, right? Enough with the media, whether it's this issue or anything else. We get really tired of these messages. We have to break through the clutter. We're looking to increase our reach, our revenue, and engagement. Bruce spoke earlier about long-term relationships and broadening our base. For you guys too, right? So we're looking for donors, we're looking to build our philanthropic model, but we're also looking for kids to experience the excitement of being outside. What a legacy for a conservation organization, right? We want them to grow up to be stewards of the work that we've been working so hard on, whether it's Capitol Hill with climate legislation, or whether it's just simply going out and appreciating that the sea turtles were affected by the oil spill in the Gulf. These are simple things that kids understand and Americans understand, and that's the level I think we have to start looking at our conversation. So those are our goals. Just to give you a little bit of information about Campout. I was really excited last night that a lot of you all have heard of the program, so that's a step in the right direction. It's the fourth Saturday in June every year. It's intentionally part of Great Outdoors Month. We celebrate Great Outdoors Month in June, so that's why it's in June. So it's June 25th this year. Again, messaging is very simple. We also have a health message, which I'll share with you, which seems to really be resonating. We have over 100,000 participants in the program. We're looking to really capitalize on that and grow that over the next couple of years. We have some good things in the works. I thought you guys would be interested. We did a poll, sort of a survey of people. So people opted into the survey, so it's not all 100,000 people, but 60% are first-time campers. Really? I mean, so only 40% of the people that we're talking to, and we're the National Wildlife Federation, so we have good conversations. We publish Ranger Rick magazine and 2 other children's publications. We're in homes, but we're clearly not getting people outside, right? Only 40% of those folks have camped before. The registration process is really key for us continuing that dialogue. Again, if we're using this as a starting point to get folks outside, we have to figure out a way to communicate and continue the discussion. So whether it's through social media, whether it's through messaging, email, newsletters, any of those programs, we've got to be able to figure out how to contact those folks and create that dialogue. We've had, this I feel is good news, again, to Ruth's point, more on the corporate side, that we've had some really good success with attracting corporations to support our efforts. So again, as we were talking about earlier, profit isn't always a bad word. We need external revenue sources to help fund the work that we're doing. And we've had a really good support system with two companies, big companies. And we'll also talk about one that we just are signing a contract with for this year. Our event primarily now is structured as a virtual event with website support. This is our website. We completely overhauled it last year, and we have a ton of content behind the website, behind the homepage. You can see, I don't know how well you can see what it says, remember the magic moment when you put up, the first time you put the tent up all by yourself. So there's the nostalgic theme, right? So with a lot of images of roasting marshmallows over the campfire. There's no Merlot, Susan, not yet, but we'll work on that piece for sure. And then the other thing I wanted to point out, my very cute, I love this little guy here. So we have content that covers all these areas. Again, we're building it out. It will get more robust, but we're starting to try and create that one-stop shopping. So if a mom or a dad is wanting to camp out, what kinds of information do they need? They go right back to our website and find out what they need. On the right-hand side, again, my little friend, this is how we're weaving in the health message. So I love this graphic. It talks about the importance of outdoor activity for eyesight, right? For healthy bones, for weight control, or that kind of thing. Your brain, the development of your brain. So again, we're trying to reach mom and make that emotional, urgent connection to her. So this is going to inspire her, hopefully, to think, you know, soccer's really great, and I played soccer as a kid, so I played a lot of organized sports, and ballet is good, and the kids are moving, but wow, maybe we should just make it more simple. Maybe kids should just, I should just sign up for a Great American Backyard Camp Out and get my kids outside. Literally open the door and sleep under the stars. I talked a little bit about our current model, and I wanted to share with you some new iterations. So again, if you look at these as, somebody said this to me last night, and I would like to give credit, but I don't remember. We're really trying to create stepping stones. So maybe you start in your backyard, then you move to a neighborhood. One of the things we're learning from our surveys is that people like the shared experience. So maybe it's a potluck picnic under the stars with Merlot and s'mores and beer, whatever it is, right? And then you can have more of a community feel. And then maybe you'll be ready to go to a national state park. Unfortunately, I think a lot of folks out there feel like that's a really big deal for them. To take, you know, oh, I think I'll go camping, I'm going to go to the national or state park, sorry Ruth, but I think we have to move people along the continuum so they're more comfortable. You know, camping out in your backyard where you can run inside if something happens, or you need to use the bathroom that's not comfortable for you, that's a starting point, right? It's more comfortable than saying, you know, now we want you to drive hundreds of miles from your home and camp out. Let's start them where they are, meet them where they are. We are embarking, as we've celebrated 75 years, what's the next 75 years of the National Wildlife Federation going to be? And we're looking at a more innovative model. So we're really challenging ourselves. Make it real and then tweak it, right? So what's the next iteration? Can we create a corporate program where it's the company picnic to the next level, right? It's an overnight camping experience, but get the companies to be engaged, get their employees engaged, and help build the programming of the experience, use some of their dollars. We're creating this concept of marquee events in Atlanta and New York City. So I'm from New York, Frank's from New Jersey, so you'll appreciate this. We're talking with Central Park about doing a camp out in Central Park. For me, as a New Yorker, wow, that's a really cool thing. So we're going to be leveraging some of our partners. We just, this is late breaking news, but we just are in the final stages of negotiating with REI to come on as the first and biggest national sponsorship they've ever done to support Great American Backyard Camp Out. And they're going to be leveraging their education folks to help us build events in New York City, Atlanta, some other markets across the country, so in the Denver area too. So we're really excited that we're being able to leverage the capabilities of all of the partners in our circle, and that's what we're trying to do. I wanted to share this with you. This shows the participation. You can see there's lots of yellow and orange, so if you have holdings in these areas, these states, we need better participation from these states. This is from last year. Number of participants by state.
There you have it.
This is the messaging I mentioned earlier, open the door and sleep under the stars. Again, I feel like it's really important to stress how simple we're trying to make the message. And then the longer version brings back memories of summer evenings catching fireflies, stargazing, and sharing stories around the campfire. And the last part is the health message. So again, we're trying to meet people where they are, break through the clutter. These messages are really, really performing well on social media and also traditional media. You can see that we got we had the last numbers I saw, we're still trying to pull together and make all the reporting back work, but we've received over 30 million media impressions. So the good news here, I think, for all of us is that if we can put our heads together, our minds together, and our workloads together for June, we can quadruple these numbers in one year. The media will listen, and I think that's really encouraging, especially with that health message.